know that they want to get the guys together, right? It seems to be all about the guys sometimes. And yeah, and he was eager to do it. Any story I think that involves young lost women, so their souls being lost, are ultimately very tragic, and because I think there's a lot of people that can relate to it somewhat, not necessarily that they're lost in Vegas, that they're a part of this whole human trafficking thing, but there's people that you're aware of that have gotten a little lost in their way. And so on that level, it's just very basic. On another level, it's just the whole Vice Squad, and it becomes a really dark and dirty story.
Well, by the time Ray Langston gets back here, he's been looking for this one girl in particular named Madeline Briggs, and it's really it's not looking good in terms of ever locating her. But we also come in contact with some people here who may have more information about the human trafficking ring, and may be able to provide us with more names that could potentially create a break in the case for us and stuff like that. So that's kind of what's happening here. Both New York and Miami they sort of take this original design and apply it to those cities, and apply it to a different color palette, so that every show winds up having a unique and distinct visual character, but all based on the design here. It's very clear that it's based on the design. No, I think the whole idea behind CSI is that because they adhered to certain rules and guidelines, and tried not to take too much creative license with the science, with the procedure of collecting evidence. That is what makes the show fascinating and very, very watchable, because as a viewer, you feel as if you're learning something every time out. So I really, really, as a viewer, really enjoy watching the show, because it's specific with that element. I'm not really sure how Ray Langston feels about all of this yet. I have learned a lot, Lawrence Fishburne as the actor, about the history of these television shows, about my sort of place within this family, working within the structure of CSI. And I think the audience will be able to connect with Dr. Ray in a much more meaningful way at the conclusion of all of this than perhaps they've been able to since my character arrived on the show.
We're talking about what goes on in the labs. This is my DNA lab, and in this particular case, I can't talk a lot about what I do in this particular case.
No, but you can tell them what you're doing.
I can.
Yeah.
Well, there's somebody who may or may not be dead, and there's blood.
Always important for
Always
DNA.
important, and there are alleles that people may or may not have in common. And right now I'm looking at my results. This is my printout sheet, and it tells me how to compare two different people's blood types. And
see this.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's good times. It's colorful. These are my results in this particular case, I think. Yeah. This is my microscope. It's are my special spices, and yeah,
that was very entertaining.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here.
If you excuse me, I have to go help out in the AV lab. Hodges is needed to process some cell phone information and help Nick and Dr. Ray solve this case. So I'll see you.
I'll miss you.
I already miss you.